14 years. That's how long Ethan Cole spent searching for a woman who didn't exist. At least, that's what everyone told him. His friends. His therapist. The private investigators who took his money and came back with nothing. Maybe she was never real, they said. Maybe you imagined it. But you can't imagine the way someone laughs. The way they smell like coconut and sea salt. The way they look at you like you're the only person in the world who matters. Ethan knew she was real. He had one photo to prove it. Blurry. Taken on an old camera. Her face turned toward the sunset, smiling, unaware he was capturing the moment. That photo lived in his wallet for 14 years. And every summer, he went back to the same beach. The same cabin. The same spot where he'd fallen in love in 7 days and lost everything in one phone call. Summer camp for adults sounded ridiculous when Ethan first heard about it. It's basically a resort with activities, his friend Mark explained. Kayaking, bonfires, hiking. You need a break, man. Your dad's been pushing you hard at the company. Take a week. Disconnect. Ethan was 22. Freshly graduated. Being groomed to take over his father's multimillion-dollar tech company. The pressure was crushing. Fine. 1 week. That's all it was supposed to be. 1 week. He arrived at Lakewood Summer Retreat on a Saturday. Checked into his cabin. Planned to spend the week reading, maybe doing some light hiking. Definitely avoiding the group activities because socializing with strangers sounded like hell. Then he saw her. Day 1. Sunset. She was sitting on the dock with her feet in the water, sketching in a notebook. Ethan walked past. Glanced at what she was drawing. Stopped. That's incredible. She looked up. Dark skin. Natural curls pulled back. Eyes that were somehow warm and guarded at the same time. Thanks. You an artist? Trying to be. You a stalker? Ethan laughed. Not usually. I'm Ethan. She smiled. Small smile. Testing him. Maya. Just Maya. For now. That's how it started. Day 1, conversation on a dock that lasted 3 hours. Day 2, hiking together. Maya made him laugh so hard he almost fell off a rock. Day 3, kayaking. She splashed him. He splashed back. They both ended up in the water, laughing like idiots. Day 4, bonfire. She leaned against him. He put his arm around her. It felt like the most natural thing in the world. Day 5, first kiss. Under the stars. Her lips tasted like s'mores and everything good in the world. Day 6, I don't want this week to end, Maya whispered. They were lying on a blanket, staring up at the sky. It doesn't have to, Ethan said. I live in the city. You could, where do you live? It's complicated. Everything's complicated. We'll figure it out. Maya turned to look at him. You really believe that? I really do. She kissed him. Long deep. Like she was trying to memorize the feeling. Okay, she whispered. We'll figure it out. Day 7, the phone call. 4:47 a.m. Ethan's phone buzzed. He grabbed it, trying not to wake Maya who was sleeping next to him in his cabin. Hello? Ethan. His uncle's voice. Shaking. You need to come home. Now. What's wrong? It's your father. He had a heart attack. We're at the hospital. Ethan, you need to come home now. Everything stopped. I'll be there in 3 hours. He hung up. Looked at Maya. She was awake now, sitting up, worry all over her face. What happened? My dad. Heart attack. I have to go. Oh my God. Ethan. I'll be back. He grabbed her face. Kissed her hard. I promise. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Just go. Be with your family. Maya. Go. He left. Drove 3 hours through the dark. Got to the hospital at 8 a.m. His father was already gone. Died at 5:30 a.m. 15 minutes after the phone call. The next 72 hours were a blur. Funeral arrangements. His mother falling apart. The company is in chaos. Lawyers. Accountants. Board members asking questions Ethan didn't have answers to. You're the only son, they kept saying. The company needs leadership. Your father had no succession plan. If you don't step up, we lose everything. Ethan was 22 years old and suddenly responsible for 100 employees and a multimillion-dollar business. He called Maya's phone. The camp had given him her number. No answer. He left voicemail after voicemail. I'm so sorry. I'll be back as soon as I can. Please wait for me. 1 week became 2. The company was hemorrhaging money. Key clients were threatening to leave. Ethan had to choose between saving his father's legacy or returning to Maya. He chose the company. Just 1 more week, he told himself. Get things stable. Then I'll go back. Then his mother died. 6 weeks after his father. The grief was too much. She went to sleep one night and didn't wake up. Ethan buried his second parent in 2 months. Lost in grief. Lost in responsibility. Lost in a life that didn't feel like his anymore. 3 months after that phone call, Ethan finally made it back to Lakewood. Maya was gone. She checked out the day after you left, the camp administrator said. Didn't leave a forwarding address. What about her contact information? We can't give that out. Privacy policy. Ethan felt his world collapse. Please. I need to find her. Her name is Maya. She's an artist. She was in cabin 12. Sir, I'm sorry. There were 30 women named Maya at camp that week. Without a last name, I can't help you. 30. 30 women named Maya. And Ethan only knew one. He stayed in town for 2 months. Put up flyers with her picture. Looking for Maya, we met at Lakewood Summer Retreat. Please contact me. Nothing. He hired private investigators. Gave them the photo. The first name. The approximate age. They found 847 women named Maya in the right age range within a 3-state radius. Ethan contacted every single one. None of them were her. After 6 months, his uncle finally sat him down. Ethan, son. You have to let this go. The company needs you. Your employees need you. You can't keep chasing a ghost. She's not a ghost. Then where is she? Ethan had no answer. So he gave up. Went back to the city. Threw himself into work. Built his father's company into an empire. Became successful. Wealthy. Everything his parents wanted. But every summer, he went back to Lakewood. Stayed in the same cabin. Walked the same trails. Sat on the same dock. Hoping. Waiting. For a woman who never came. Maya left the camp the morning after Ethan didn't come back. She waited until checkout. Kept checking her phone. No calls. No messages. He's not coming, she told herself. It hurt worse than anything she'd ever felt. She'd given him everything in 7 days. Her heart. Her body. Her trust. And he'd disappeared. Men always leave, her mother had warned her. Don't ever forget that. Maya had wanted to prove her wrong. Guess Mom was right after all. She moved to Portland. Started fresh. Tried to forget. Then she missed her period. No. No, 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 no. She took 3 tests. All positive. Pregnant. From a man who didn't exist. Who'd vanished like smoke. Maya cried for 2 days straight. Then she made a decision. She was keeping the baby. 8 months later, she gave birth to a girl. A perfect girl with Ethan's hazel eyes and his pointed nose and a smile that broke Maya's heart every time she saw it. She named her Sophie. Your dad was someone special, Maya whispered to her newborn daughter. He just couldn't stay. Being a single mom was brutal. Maya worked 3 jobs. Barely slept. Struggled to make rent. But she never regretted Sophie. Sophie was brilliant. Creative. Emotionally intelligent beyond her years. Why don't I have a dad? Sophie asked when she was 6. Maya told her an edited version. A summer romance. A man who had to leave for family reasons. A love that was real but couldn't last. Do you think he remembers us? Sophie asked. I don't know, baby. When Sophie was 8, Maya met Daniel. Nice guy. Stable job. Liked kids. They dated for a year. He proposed. I know you have baggage, Daniel said. But I love you. And I'll love Sophie like she's mine. Maya wanted to believe him. She said yes. The marriage lasted 2 years. Daniel tried. But he couldn't stop resenting Sophie. She's not mine, he'd say during fights. I'm raising another man's kid while you still moon over some guy you knew for a week. I don't moon over him. You do. Every time you look at her. Every time you tell that stupid story. He's been gone for 10 years, Maya. Let it go. They had a son together. Michael. Daniel's biological child. But even that didn't save the marriage. Daniel wanted Maya to stop talking about Ethan. Stop telling Sophie stories. Stop keeping that one blurry photo in her drawer. It's like he's a ghost haunting our marriage, Daniel said. Maybe he was right. They divorced when Sophie was 12. Maya got custody of both kids. Daniel paid child support but barely visited Michael. Men always leave, Maya's mother's voice echoed. She'd been right all along. Sophie was 14 when she asked to go back to Lakewood. They were sitting at dinner. Sophie had just blown out her birthday candles. I want to go to the place where you met my dad, Sophie said. For my birthday. Honey. Please, Mom. I know it's weird. But I want to see it. Want to feel close to him somehow. Even if he's not real. He's real, Maya said quietly. Then why did he never come back? Maya had no answer. Please, Sophie said. Just this once. Maya looked at her daughter. At those hazel eyes that weren't hers. Okay. We'll go. Ethan Cole stood on the dock at Lakewood Summer Retreat. 36 years old. Successful beyond measure. Empty inside. This was his last year. He'd promised himself. 14 years of coming back. 14 years of hope slowly dying. If she's not here this time, Ethan had told Mark before leaving, I'm done. I'm letting her go. Finally moving on. Good, Mark had said. You deserve to be happy, man. And you won't be happy chasing a memory. Ethan pulled out his wallet. Looked at the photo. Faded now. Worn at the edges from being handled so many times. Maya. Smiling. Young. Beautiful. I'm sorry, he whispered to the photo. I tried. Dad. Dad, look what I caught. Ethan turned. A kid, maybe 7 years old, was running up the dock with a fish. His father followed, laughing. They were on vacation. Family vacation. Making memories. Ethan felt the loneliness like a physical weight. He should have that. Wife. Kids. Family. Instead, he had money and a photo of a woman who'd disappeared. This is pathetic, he muttered to himself. He was about to leave when he saw them. 3 people walking down the beach. A woman. 2 kids. The woman had her back to him. But something about the way she moved. Ethan's heart stopped. No. It couldn't be. The woman turned slightly. Laughing at something one of the kids said. Ethan saw her profile. And his legs almost gave out. Maya. Older. But unmistakably her. Maya. He didn't mean to yell. But her name came out like a prayer. The woman froze. Turned. Their eyes met across 50 feet of beach. And 14 years collapsed into nothing. Maya couldn't breathe. It wasn't possible. She was seeing things. Grief and loneliness finally breaking her brain. Because that was Ethan. Standing on the dock. Staring at her like he'd seen a ghost. Mom. Sophie's voice. Worried. Mom, are you okay? Maya couldn't answer. Ethan started walking toward her. Slowly. Like he was afraid she'd disappear if he moved too fast. Maya. His voice cracked. Is that really you? She nodded. Couldn't speak. They stood 5 feet apart. A decade and a half between them. I came back, Ethan whispered. I came back the next day and you were gone. What? I've been looking for you for 14 years. Maya felt tears start. I waited for you. You never called. I called. I left messages. Your phone was disconnected. I changed my number. I thought, Maya's voice broke. I thought you left me. I would never. Ethan stepped closer. My father died. That morning. And then my mother. And the company was falling apart. I had to, Maya, I had to choose between losing everything my parents built or coming back to you. I chose wrong. Maya was crying now. 14 years of anger and hurt and love all hitting at once. I looked for you, Ethan continued. I hired investigators. I came back here every summer. Every single summer for 14 years. Hoping you'd come back. Mom. Sophie's voice. Ethan looked at her for the first time. Really looked. At the 14-year-old girl with his hazel eyes and his nose and his smile. Oh my God, he breathed. Sophie looked between them. Mom. Who is this? Maya wiped her tears. Sophie. This is your father. The world stopped. Sophie stared at Ethan. Ethan stared at Sophie. Hi, Ethan whispered. Then his legs actually gave out. He dropped to his knees on the beach. Started crying. Not quiet tears. Sobbing like a child. I have a daughter, he said through tears. I have a daughter and I didn't know. Sophie looked at her mom. He's real. He's actually real. He's real, baby. Sophie walked over to Ethan. Knelt down in front of him. I'm Sophie, she said. I'm 14. I like art and math. Mom says I laugh like you even though I've never heard you laugh. Ethan looked at this perfect girl. His daughter. Can I hug you? He asked. Sophie nodded. Ethan pulled her into his arms and held on like she might disappear. I'm so sorry, he sobbed into her hair. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I would have been there. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Sophie said, crying too. You're here now. Maya watched them. Her heart breaking and healing at the same time. Michael, her 7-year-old son, tugged her hand. Mom, who is that? Someone we lost a long time ago, Maya said. Someone who came back.
That night, they sat on the beach while the kids played in the sand nearby. Sophie kept looking over at Ethan. Like she was afraid he'd disappear. Tell me everything, Ethan said. All 14 years. Maya did. The pregnancy. The fear. Raising Sophie alone. Meeting Daniel. The failed marriage. The struggles. I tried dating, Maya said. But I couldn't stop comparing everyone to you. To 7 perfect days I had 14 years ago. It wasn't fair to Daniel. Wasn't fair to me. But I couldn't let you go. I couldn't either, Ethan said. I dated. Tried to move on. But nobody was you. Nobody even came close. They sat in silence for a moment. Why didn't you come back sooner? Maya finally asked. The question that had haunted her for 14 years. I did. 3 months after I left, I came back. You were already gone. I looked for you, Maya. 4 months. Years. But all I had was your first name and this photo. He pulled out his wallet. Showed her the faded picture. Maya's breath caught. You kept that? It's all I had of you. She pulled out her phone. Opened her photos. Scrolled back. There was the same photo. The one she'd sent him from her old phone before the number disconnected. I kept it too, she said. Ethan took her hand. I need you to know something. I never stopped loving you. 14 years. Hundreds of dead ends. Everyone telling me to give up. I never did. Because what we had was real. I know, Maya whispered. I felt it too. Can we try again? Ethan asked. Not pick up where we left off. We can't do that. Too much has happened. But start new. Do this right. Let me meet my daughter. Be part of her life. Be part of your life. If you'll let me. Maya looked at him. At the man she'd loved for 14 years through his absence. Don't disappear again, she said. Never. I promise. You promised before. And I kept that promise. I came back. It just took 14 years longer than I planned. Maya laughed through tears. You're an idiot. I know. I love you. I love you too. He kissed her. Like no time had passed. Like they were still 22 and 20 on a dock under the stars. Sophie walked over. So are you staying this time? Ethan looked at his daughter. I'm never leaving again. Good, Sophie said. Because Mom needs help with her business and Michael needs a dad and I need someone to teach me how to fix things because Mom's terrible at it. Sophie. Maya laughed. What? It's true. Ethan grinned. First real smile in 14 years. I can do that, he said. All of it. Ethan moved to Portland. Not just visited. Moved. Put his COO in charge of the company. Stepped back from day-to-day operations. You're really doing this? Mark asked. Giving up the empire? I'm not giving it up. I'm choosing something different. I spent 14 years building a company while missing out on a life. I'm done missing out. He rented an apartment 10 minutes from Maya's place. Showed up every day. Helped Sophie with homework. Taught Michael how to throw a baseball. Supported Maya's small art business, helped her expand, get a studio, hire staff. You don't have to do all this, Maya said. I want to. I've been making up for 14 years. You can't get that time back. I know. But I can be here every day moving forward. He was there for Sophie's soccer games, Michael's school plays, Maya's art shows. He wasn't perfect. They fought sometimes. About parenting, money, the past. But he never left. When things got hard, he stayed. When Maya pushed him away, he pushed back. You don't get to run anymore, she told him during one fight. And neither do I. We're doing this. For real. For real, he agreed. 6 months in, he proposed. Not some grand gesture. Just them. On the same dock where they'd met. Maya Hayes, Ethan said, kneeling on the weathered wood, I lost you once. I'm never losing you again. Marry me. Maya looked at the man who'd waited 14 years. Yes. They got married 3 months later. Small ceremony. Just family and close friends. Sophie was maid of honor. Michael was ring bearer. You know, Sophie said during her speech, most kids whose parents get married already know both parents. I got to meet my dad at 14. Which is weird. But also perfect. Because now I appreciate how lucky I am to have him. Ethan was crying. Again. He cried a lot now. Happy tears mostly. I used to think my dad was a ghost, Sophie continued. A story my mom told me to make me feel better. But he's real. He came back. And he stayed. And that's all I ever wanted. After the ceremony, Ethan and Maya slowly danced. No regrets, she asked. Only that I didn't find you sooner. We found each other when we were meant to. You really believe that? I have to. Otherwise, we wasted 14 years for nothing. We didn't waste anything, Ethan said. We got Sophie. We got Michael. We got this. Everything happened exactly how it needed to. Maya rested her head on his chest. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. Always did. Always will. 2 years later, they had another baby. A boy they named after Ethan's father. Sophie held her baby brother and said, Our family is weird. Why's that? Ethan asked. Because we started with 7 days 14 years ago and now we're here. That's not normal. Normal is overrated, Maya said. Agreed, Michael added. They were messy and complicated and unconventional. But they were together. And that was everything. The end. Love doesn't always make sense. Sometimes it takes 14 years, one blurry photo, and a daughter with hazel eyes to bring two people back together. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who believes in second chances. Drop a comment if you think true love is worth waiting for. Don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories. Thank you for watching. Red Heart.